The Tennessee Titans love Cam Ward. So if another team wants him, it's going to take a historic trade to do it. I'll discuss on today's edition of Locked On Titans.
You are Locked On Titans, your daily Tennessee Titans podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the Locked On Titans podcast. I am your host, Tyler Rowland, Titans fans. Today's edition of the Locked On Titans podcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the recent reports regarding the amount of first-round picks that a team would have to trade to move up to number one, and the price of the brick keeps going up. Also, the Tennessee Titans banned the Houston Oilers uniforms for 2025. I'll tell you why. It's actually the first step in a great plan. Also, Abdul Carter is going to miss his pro day. Titans may have dodged a bullet with that one. We'll discuss all of that before we get into it. Do want to thank you for making Locked On Titans your first to listen and for being an everydayer here with me at the Locked On Titans podcast. Monday through Friday, Tennessee Titans content all year round, always for free. Make sure that you get subscribed, stay subscribed. It's your team every day. Speaking of every day, shout out to my everydayers out there tuning in Monday through Friday. Couldn't do it without you guys. If you aren't an everydayer, you need to be one. The draft is right around the corner. I go over about 200 prospects every single year to get you guys ready to go. Stay locked in with the Locked On Titans podcast if you want to be the most educated and informed Tennessee Titans fan that you could possibly be. But with that being said, we got a report from Adam Schefter that we talked about recently, but the conversation is really intensifying at this moment in time because outside of Adam Schefter's report about the Tennessee Titans' interest or price tag for a trade up, we're hearing other things in the rumor mill. I would say you take everything with a grain of salt, folks, especially now in this internet age. You never know who you can trust. You never know who's right, who's wrong, what's going on, who's plugged in. All you got to do is take every single rumor and everything you hear with a grain of salt, and then you decide what you believe. But what I've heard is that the Tennessee Titans, and again, I'm not a source guy. This comes from somebody I trust online. You could look it up. A lot of people who are chronically on Twitter, like I am, probably know who I'm talking about. But saw somewhere, again, just rumor, conjecture, that the Tennessee Titans and the New York Giants almost had a deal at the NFL Combine for a 2026 first-round pick, or for a 2026 day two picks, and then pick number 3 this year and a pick this year additional as well. And the Titans wanted a 2026 first-round pick, which is something that we've heard before. We've heard that since the Combine, that the Titans wanted that extra first-round pick in 2026. The Giants weren't willing to do it. And now we're hearing that since the Titans have met with Cam Ward and gone through the process, they are increasingly more impressed with him. Therefore, now they are charging the New York Giants a 2027 first-round pick as well. Now, that report comes from a source that, a lot of people probably wouldn't trust or don't believe or don't know of. But what I would tell you is, think about the Adam Schefter report that we've talked about, that we just went over. And then, I guess, cross-reference that with that report that we heard right there. Adam Schefter said the Tennessee Titans have become very impressed with Cam Ward throughout this process. And they are still open to a trade, but the trade would cost more than it would before. So during the Combine, the Tennessee Titans were willing to do a trade for this year's first and next year's first and some extra day two picks thrown in. But now, after getting to know Cam Ward, they're like, oh, well, if we're going to give up on this guy, if we're going to give this quarterback away, if we're going to give with how much we like Cam Ward, if we're going to give this guy away, it is going to take the most historic trade haul that we have ever seen for a 2-spot jump. Now, I've mentioned this before when talking about first round or first overall pick trades. You can go to any trade chart that you want and say, oh, well, go look at the trade charts for other first round pick trades. It's not even. It's not the team trading up to number 1 has an even number in the trade value as the Titans. That's not how these work. In the past, any trade up for number one overall has been about 20% more value for the team who's trading back, more than what equal would be. So you're getting 20% more value in picks than what an even equal trade would be according to the trade chart data. That's how first overall picks work. So now the Titans are like, hey, we're just not getting 20 from you. We want 50 from you. And remember, again, the Adam Schefter report. The Titans have become increasingly impressed with Ward. And while they are expected to listen to offers for the number one overall pick, it would now take an even stronger package to acquire the draft's top selection. That lines up perfectly with the shaky report that I talked about just a second ago. The Titans were willing to do it for less. Now that they've gotten to know Cam Ward, they've had Cam Ward in the building. He's impressed them the way that he has on the boards and, with his just demeanor as a leader. Well, now that we know all this, and now that you missed out on Aaron Rodgers, New York, and now that you missed out on Matthew Stafford, New York, and I'm thinking it's going to take 3 first-round picks now, not just 2, right? That's what's happening here. And I think this is a situation where the Titans are like, hey, we love Cam Ward. We're taking Cam Ward number one overall. If you want to call us, though, and give us the biggest trade offer that we've ever seen in recent NFL history for a 2-spot jump, if you want to do that, if you want to give us 2025, 2026, 2023, or 2027 first-round picks, you want to give us a second-round pick this year, a second-round pick next year, a third-round pick next year as well. If you want to give us all of that, if I have my dream car and my dream car is worth $3 million, then I say, I'm not giving you my dream car. And you say, no, seriously, name a price. And I say, $30 million. That's a $3 million car. Why would someone pay $30 million for it? But if someone says, all right, I'll pay $30 million for it. Well, by God, I'm losing out on my dream car because I'm taking the $30 million, not the $3 million dream car. I'll buy 10 more of them with the money. So I guess what I'm saying is I understand the position of we're taking Cam Ward, but if you want to give us a truly unrealistic, unbelievable, historic trade package like what the Cowboys got for Herschel Walker or something, well, now we can talk. Now we can talk about it. But again, Cam Ward's going to be a Titan. The Giants aren't doing that. That's why they signed Russell Wilson. That's why they signed Jameis Winston. It's not happening. To me, it's the Cleveland Browns. If the Browns want to trade up and get Cam Ward because they have to pay Deshaun Watson $1 million on the salary cap, well, more than $1 million, obviously, it's figure of speech. Maybe I'm like Dr. Evil right now coming back from the 70s. So $1 million, and everybody laughs like, okay, $1 million on the salary cap. Great. $1 billion is what I really should say. The Browns have to pay Deshaun Watson $1 billion. So, they would probably be more interested at this time to make a 1-spot jump up and get Cam Ward if they like him significantly better than Shedeur Sanders. I personally think the Giants trade is dead. I don't think there's any way that's happening because the Titans have set an unrealistic mark for a trade to be completed because that's how much they love Cam Ward. If you're going to be historically stupid, then sure, we'll take advantage of you. But the reality is that's not going to happen, and the Tennessee Titans are going to sit and pick and take Cam Ward. But with that being said, controversy. The Titans have banned the Oilers jerseys for 2025. We'll discuss. Do want to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's 200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories, even who's going to cut down the nets. For me, I admit, I've been going very chalky in the tournament this year. I've been riding with my favorites, and I've been backing them with the spread, totals, game props. I can stay in the action all tournament long with games happening all the time, and the FanDuel app is simple to use. When I win, I get paid instantly, no waiting around. Visit FanDuel.com and get in on the college hoops action all tournament long. Once again, make sure that you visit FanDuel.com. Titans fans, let's continue today's edition of the Locked On Titans podcast. We are kind of recapping the biggest stories for the Titans heading into the weekend. We talked about all of the reports and the rumors out there about the Tennessee Titans and the Giants and what's required to make a trade happen. And I got to tell you, the Titans have basically set an unrealistic mark for the Giants to be able to hit. If they hit it, then we'll talk. But they know that the Giants aren't doing that, and they're going to take Cam Ward #1 overall. But we got to move away from like the football team itself and talk about this controversy that was created on Thursday when the Tennessee Titans made an announcement about their plans with their jerseys and uniforms in 2025. What the Titans announced was that they are making the light blue, which they are calling Titans blue, their primary jersey. So we know the Titans had the white, they had the navy blue, and then they had the Titans blue. The navy blue has been their primary home color for, however many years it's been now since they got the new jerseys. What was that, 2018? Right? 2018, they got the new jerseys. So it's been 6 seasons, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 7 seasons since they got new jerseys. That's actually crazy, man. Time flies. But the navy blue has been their primary. The Titans are shifting to the light blue being their primary. The Titans are going to wear their light blue, Titans blue jerseys every single home game this year. That is their new primary color. Of course, white is the primary away color, and a lot of people were like, I kind of like the navy blue better. Some people were like, good, I like the Titans blue better. Me personally, I like the Titans blue better. I was 8 years old, 9 years old. Jersey colors and jerseys in general and uniforms and helmets, like that stuff matters to you when you're a 9-year-old kid. You're like, I love their uniforms, like that matters to you way more when you're a kid than when you're an adult. But one of the things that drew me to the Titans was the light blue and the red together, which comes from the Houston Oilers color scheme. It's the red and the light blue. That I love light blue. I love light blue. It's like my favorite color. I love light blue. And red is also one of my favorite colors, probably my second favorite color. So I personally am not that mad about it. I like the light blue better. I think the light blue is more unique to the Titans. When you see that light blue, you think of the Oilers, which technically are the Titans. So lean more into, a lot of teams have navy. The Seahawks have some navy, and the Bears have some navy to them. The Texans have some navy to them. Like, a lot of teams have that dark navy bluish color. But I can only think of one other team in the NFL that has anything close to that light blue color, and it's the Chargers with their powder blue, which is a significantly softer color of blue than the Titans blue. So I'm not even mad about this. But what everyone really got mad about was that the Titans are not using the Houston Oilers throwbacks in 2025. And a lot of people are saying, man, we're going to draft Cam Ward #1 overall and not let him wear the throwbacks at first and blah, blah, blah. Well, listen, let me say a couple of things of why I'm not mad about that either. Number one, the last 2 times you've worn them against the Houston Texans, you've gotten beat at home. That's embarrassing. Also, you worry about overexposure. You don't want to use them too much if you're the Titans, because then they kind of lose their luster and how special they are. So taking a break for a year is not a bad idea. Also, I have my own personal thoughts, which I've talked about on the show, about how the Titans, I guess I'll just say this. I typically side with regular people like me and you over, greedy billionaires when it comes to teams and moving teams and stuff like that. Sports teams belong to the people who support them in the city where they're from. Not these. I know technically the billionaires own the company, but the people who support the teams, those are the people who really own the team, in my opinion, in my heart. That's how I feel. So I have my own thoughts as to why I'm not really mad about the Oilers thing, but this is the biggest. And, go Matthew McConaughey, close your eyes. I want you to picture this. So just follow me. The new stadium opens in 2027. The Titans have now had their uniforms for 7 seasons. 2025, 2026, that'd be 9 seasons. So you're coming up on the 10-year anniversary in 2027, where you're also, again, opening a new stadium. You're now shifting the perception of your team away from the navy blue into the Titans blue that is also the Oilers colors. You know that your fans love the Oilers color scheme. I think we're on the precipice of a Tennessee Titans jersey redesign. I think when the Tennessee Titans open the new stadium in 2027, they will also be doing so with brand new jerseys. And I think what we're going to see from the Titans is the Titans are going to lean heavy into the Titans blue. I think the navy blue helmet will look stupid with the light blue. It's not a great combination. So the Titans will go back to a white helmet. So you'll have light blue jerseys, white helmet. You'll still have a navy alternate option like you do now, and then the whites. But I think the helmet will be white with the Titans fire thumb tack with red face mask and a light blue stripe. Really lean into that Oilers heritage. If you're going to claim that Titans history is Oilers history and you are the Oilers franchise, then why not lean into that history? Basically create a modern version of the Oilers uniforms with the Tennessee Titans logo. You add in a dash of the navy blue in there to remind people, yes, this is the Titans, not just a pure copy of the Oilers. But if you're so invested in that history, then lean into it. And if you're so invested in the Titans blue, light blue color, then lean into it. Light blue and red is not a color scheme that any Tennessee or that any NFL team has. Off the top of my head, the light blue, Titans blue, and then red, nobody has that. So if you're the Titans and you want new jerseys, new stadium, franchise quarterback, new vibes, new profile, just set a whole new era of Tennessee Titans football, then lean into the era that you claim. So that's what I want to see. I want to see heavy light blue jerseys with more red, white helmets, and red face masks. That's what I want to see for 2027. And again, a lot of people are freaking out. I'm not mad about it, to be honest with you at all. I'm kind of excited about it because I like the light blue so much. But even past that, I think that this is the first step towards a result that a lot of people are going to like. Because I think the vibes on the Titans' second version of their uniforms are just, they're all right. They're all right. So I'm personally excited about all this. I'm not mad about it. And at the end of the day, even if new jerseys aren't coming and this is just, they want to rock with the Titans blue more, I'm not going to worry about it. They need to win games. I'm not going to get on here. I'm not going to get on here and rage out and crash out over laundry. I'm not. I don't care enough about some of the auxiliary stuff that comes with football discussion, like jersey numbers and, I care, but I'm not quite as invested as clearly a lot of you guys are, but I'm happy about this process for the Tennessee Titans. But a process that hasn't been as good as Abdul Carter's pre-draft process, and it got a little bit worse on Thursday. Titans fans, let's cap off today's edition of the Locked On Titans podcast. Let's cap off this week of the Locked On Titans podcast. Man, it has been an insane week for me. I will tell you, my dog had surgery this week. It's been a disaster. I've been not getting very much sleep, and the work never stops and all of that. So appreciate you guys hanging with me this week as we try to get through this thing and get closer to the NFL draft. But with that being said, speaking of the NFL draft, as a lot of you know, I am high on Abdul Carter. I think Abdul Carter is going to be a great NFL player. I really do. I think he's going to be a fantastic edge rusher. I think he's going to be a top 10 edge rusher in the NFL. I think he's going to be a pretty good player right off the jump. And throughout the draft process, for me, my preference has been take Abdul Carter, or even better, trade back and get Abdul Carter after two teams go quarterback at the top. But I accept that the Tennessee Titans want to go with the franchise quarterback. And as I've said throughout the process, despite the words that try to get put into my mouth, I'm fine with that. If the Titans believe in a quarterback, they need to take him, because this team needs a quarterback. And if you believe in him, then take him. But I will say something here that I was wrong about. When the Abdul Carter foot issue first popped up at the combine, I did not think it was a very big deal. I showed examples of players before where it wasn't a very big deal, this and that. But now we get a report from multiple sources at this point on the internet that Abdul Carter will actually not be working out at his pro day, despite when the injury happened at the combine, his agent and him himself and numerous media people who were told by his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, that he'd be putting on a show at his combine at Penn State on March 27th. Well, he's not participating in that combine. And the report came out saying that he's still dealing with the shoulder injury that he was recovering from the college football playoff. And I'm sorry, I'm going to call BS on that. It is clear that the foot issue is why he's not doing his pro day workout. And they're using the shoulder issue to be like, oh, no, his foot's fine. Don't worry about the foot. The foot's fine. Foot's never been an issue. It's the shoulder still. You guys knew about the shoulder. He couldn't do the combine because of the shoulder. It's the shoulder. Don't worry about the foot. Nothing wrong with the foot. Foot's fine. No. Don't buy it, Mr. Rosenhaus. It's pretty obvious that the foot is the problem. They're using the shoulder to cover it up because the shoulder is less of a concern long term. Also, I got to be honest with you. This was a concern, and this is where I was wrong. This is what I got wrong about this thing. I believed his agent. That was my mistake. When they said that it wouldn't need surgery, and it was a stress reaction, and it wouldn't need surgery, I was like, okay, I buy that. I buy that. Because it's happened before. This has happened before. There are examples on both sides. But we've also seen players say that their injury's fine, I don't need surgery, and then the minute that they get drafted to an NFL team and have their futures secured, oh, now they need to get surgery. We've seen that happen plenty. And I'll tell you the honest truth. My opinion is that's exactly what's happening here with Abdul Carter. He needs surgery. He needs a bolt put in his foot, like most people do when they have a stress fracture like that in their foot. And he knows it. And they can say he plans to do workouts for teams in April. Well, what if we get to April and he doesn't do those? He needs surgery on his foot. That is my opinion. Not because I'm a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I don't know that. I haven't seen the scans. But just put two and two together here. Oh, I'm going to light it up at my pro day. Oh, now I can't do my pro day because of the shoulder. But you knew about the shoulder injury going to the combine. And you said that you'd be ready by your pro day, not because of the shoulder, but because the foot is fine. Now the shoulder isn't even fine, and you're not even talking about the foot. It just all doesn't add up. It's stinky as crap. If it walks and talks like a duck, guess what it is? Quack, quack, folks. Quack, quack. So while I will tell you that I'm still high on Abdul Carter, I still think Abdul Carter is going to be a great player. This situation now, knowing what we know now a month later after the combine, and then what Cam Ward has done during that month, I feel way more comfortable in going with Cam Ward and passing on Abdul Carter than I did a month ago. So I can admit that. Now, I'll tell you, folks, I have my strong opinions just like all of you. But one thing I'll always do is get up on here and tell you when I got it wrong. And believing that Abdul Carter would be fine, I got that one wrong. And thank God the Tennessee Titans kept digging in, found out what they needed to, And now they're set to take their franchise quarterback. But with that being said, that is going to do it for me today, folks. As always, I am your host, Tyler Rowland, and this was Locked On Titans.